All right, we are starting a new series called DM Mechanics. And the first one we're talking about is this mechanic I've made. These are all mechanics I've made, by the way. Or maybe I took inspiration from another rule somewhere and expanded upon it. That's generally like what these would entail. For this one, we have the Wizard class of 5e. I think this is a hot topic for a lot of people that I'll get into. I'm not even sure how to break this down. I'm going to break this down the best way I can. This is the homebrew spell mechanic for learning spells, basically. I believe in most fantasy situations that wizards should be able to learn any spell, but not be given automatic spells. And for 5e, the rules for the leveling I changed and I adjusted so that way, as a wizard gains levels, their spells, they don't automatically get more spells. I didn't want that. I wanted to just get rid of that idea entirely. I think that defeats the purpose of playing a wizard who studies a spell book, who can read spell scrolls, and who can copy spell scrolls, from the spell and the spell scroll to the spell book, or learning spells from teachers. So I just completely got rid of the idea. And instead, what I replaced it with, which, not everyone's going to like, but I love a lot, and I think is core and true to a wizard and to classic fantasy senses, a wizard in 5e's rules can now learn any spell that is out there, but they have to learn it through a spell book, or like another wizard spell book, or through copying a spell scroll, or through learning from somebody. But they can learn any of the other classes of spells. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about spells that would be like paladins have certain spells that are specific to their subclass, unless that paladin with that subclass was to teach the wizard the spell. Okay, then there's a situation, but there's obviously spells that wizards won't be able to learn because maybe they'll never be written down, they'll never be in the spell book, and they'll never meet that teacher to teach them the spell. And then on top of that, I'm using the 5e rules. I really didn't change much, but maybe add a couple things here and there about copying spells. So I've got the whole list from cantrip all the way to 9th, going from 1 hour to copy a spell with cantrip, all the way to 48 hours to copy a spell with 9th, and going from 25 gold pieces cost to 450 gold pieces cost. And I think this adds a lot of realism to the character. I think this makes the character a lot more, I think people would sometimes say like gritty maybe, but for me, I think it makes it more grounded, more believable, and overall, I find it more enjoying both as DM and as player if I don't just get things from the ether, if instead I've earned them in the spell book. Certain classes, like to go kind of the opposite approach, like a sorcerer, makes a lot of sense that a sorcerer just gets spells from ether because their magic is a bizarre phenomena. A lot of times it's like this inborn magic, which makes a lot of sense to then get those spells from something out there. Warlocks, if they have a deal with a fey creature, or with a demonic creature, or some sort of deity or something. Clerics as well, so warlocks, clerics fit into that category. Bards, I'm not really going to touch bards. I think they're lame and broken as far as spells go. I don't think they should have access to magic pretty much at all, but I'm not even getting into that today. We're just talking about the wizard spells and the spell change I made here. And I've been playtesting this. I have my own character named Theron Varys. He is a level 3 or 4 wizard now, and I did this thing I'm talking about. I allowed players, so to clear one thing up, at level 1, you can start with those 6 spells that you get at level 1, and the cantrips. I think it's like 2 cantrips. Some races give you a cantrip. You start with those. Those don't go away. But after that, every level you don't get more spells or more cantrips. You have to learn them in the world in some way that's believable, realistic, in that sense. So Theron went through the same process. I've been playing the Lost Mines Adventures, and so I think I learned Silence by spell scroll. I then defeated an evil wizard. I won't spoil too much of Lost Mines if people still haven't played it, but I fought an evil wizard, defeated him, took his spellbook, and that spellbook had Misty Step, Hold Person, Charm Person, and then that wizard also had a spell scroll of Fireball, believe it or not. So even though Theron can't cast the spell right now, I have it in the book for eventually when he does hit the level to be able to cast it. So yeah, I just thought overall that this was a really cool mechanic, a cool concept to bring to the table, just to add more realism to the world, more immersion. Another small one that I used a little bit was creating scrolls. So there's actually some rules out there, and I kind of solidified those. For crafting spell scrolls, it's 25 gold times the spell level and takes 1 day per spell level. So first level spell scroll is 25 gold plus a day, basically. And I used that to make a sleep scroll for when we were going into a little castle. I wanted to just make sure we were prepared because I couldn't have enough prepared spells for all the ones I wanted. So I just made one extra scroll for a one-time use if we needed it. And it did end up working out. It saved our butts pretty spectacularly. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think of this rule and in general, what you think of wizards. If you have any suggestions on bards, I'm listening. I'm open. But this is the new DM mechanics. It's going to be coming out weekly. We're going to start with these longer form videos, and we're going to make little shorts out of these videos. And I'm just going to show you guys kind of what I do each week. This is just meant to highlight some of the mechanics that I love the most that I've created, as well as give everyone an understanding of like where my DM brain comes from. People might perceive this as like a help guide thing. I don't really think of it like that. If it helps you, that's great. I like to think of it more as like it's just enjoyable to talk about. I'm excited. This is for an upcoming campaign. So yeah, I'm playtesting it right now, but this is for a campaign that's going to be in the near future with my players in the Forgotten Realms setting. And I have a pre-made roster with 2 wizards already on it. So if anyone picks wizards, that's when I'll tell them about this rule. So I'm really excited to playtest it some more. Yeah. Anyway, DM mechanics. Bye, guys.